The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Rachel!
Okay. Start off with the Batman. We're gonna just talk about the Batman.
Yeah, this is.
It's come out and we've watched it a few times already.
We're not gonna try and do like no spoilers, are we?
I can't not. I
we?
don't think I can do that.
I don't think there's a way we could talk about this without spoilers.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way.
I'm not trying to figure that one out though.
Yeah.
Like spoilers ahead. If you didn't watch it by now,
Don't watch it past.
What's
this point, I
today?
guess.
Monday? Just the first
It's been out
weekend.
like 3 days.
It's the first weekend. If
You
haven't
haven't
seen
watched it yet.
You're not a true
Too
Batman
late.
fan.
Yeah. But hold on, I want to start off with whatever post you were seeing on Facebook about
All right, so in
the
that
naysayers.
in that group that I'm in, there's just so many idiots. I mean, sorry if one of you idiots are watching this video, but
Speaking
Yeah.
of you.
You know who you are.
people. Okay, I'm gonna start off with this. People always want to bring up Kevin Conroy as best Batman. Dude was a voice actor, so he shouldn't even be in this conversation.
Yeah, that doesn't
Like,
never
You
really
said,
count.
you said Kevin Conroy, and I wasn't even sure who that
Yeah,
was.
he was the one that did the voice for Batman throughout the animated series.
All right.
Yeah, like
Like, it's not live action.
Yeah, like that. How you can't even count that? It's a cartoon.
Right.
They drew his actions and mannerisms. He just voiced it.
Well, that's like saying like the best Joker ever was.
And people say that too.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill.
Mark
They
Hamill.
say it's like no, he was a voice actor. Second thing, people are actually complaining about they're not Bruce Wayne being mopey and emo and blah 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 and saying he wasn't a Bruce Wayne. It's like if you're as big of a Batman fan as you say you are, don't you think you would have figured it out way before this movie came out that this was a year 2 Batman where he didn't learn how to be Bruce Wayne yet?
And I mean, he kind of started out the movie saying it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like the things that people are arguing about in this movie is just dumb.
Yeah.
Besides the whole did Riddler know his identity, that is a good argument for this movie because that can go on forever, and nobody will really ever know the answer. I mean, unless Matt Reeves.
Yeah, he's pretty much
Says.
just been Batman for 2 years. That's why I like that scene where he's with Alfred, and Alfred's like, eat some fruit, and
Pulls his glasses out.
It's in the morning. He's wearing sunglasses.
And he
inside.
Yeah.
By the way.
and he even said like in the beginning, it's been 2 years. He's been a recluse. What do you say? A nocturnal
Turning himself
animal.
into a nocturnal animal. Yeah.
So like he basically told you everything.
exactly, like everything you needed was literally in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty obvious how he doesn't know how to maneuver his way about being Batman or anything. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. Like he's still trying to figure everything out. That's why everything he was doing, like just fear and just this, like
yeah,
he
like
started realizing
he only
that.
wanted to be Batman. Like even you said that. Forgot what I was gonna say.
That he only wanted to be Batman.
Something about Bruce Wayne.
That he like later on, like let's say in his character arc.
You're saying he didn't care about being Bruce Wayne,
Right.
Like
in all the movies, he never cared about being
I'm-
Bruce Wayne.
He literally said that, didn't he?
Yeah. He said, I don't care about all that. I don't care what happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And then
that,
eventually later on, he realizes that being Bruce Wayne is a huge asset to the city
right?
Yeah.
and Batman.
And that's what we're gonna get in the second movie.
Exactly.
So people saying that there's no Bruce Wayne. There
is no
supposed to
Bruce
be
Wayne
one.
yet.
Yeah.
There
is
wasn't
no Bruce
supposed
Wayne.
to be. So you went to the wrong movie, bro.
Something about like board members coming over to do something.
Here,
like, from
why?
From his
Yeah.
company. He was like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in his head right now, being Batman and trying to protect the city, like that was his family's legacy.
Yeah.
But then obviously throughout this entire movie, like at the end, he starts realizing that everyone he's fighting, they're fighting for their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that he's just
And that the way he's doing it, like
Is-
he's
yeah.
stopping crime, but crime is higher than ever.
right.
Yeah, he's
So-
not
so
really making a difference.
And he's just learning. You know what I mean? So then he has to understand that Bruce Wayne, as he because remember this, the first time he went into the club, he infiltrated as Batman. Do you know who I am? Beat the out of them, right? Second
And
time,
even they didn't even care
yeah,
that he was Batman.
second
either.
time.
He did it quick.
yeah, second time he showed up as Bruce Wayne, he got let in and got to talk to Falcone immediately
Yeah.
without even question. The third time he snuck in. But what I'm saying is that later on in his character arc, Bruce Wayne is more powerful than he knows right now. He doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is anything.
Yeah.
He's just submerged in
he
pain.
he can use Bruce Wayne to help
Exactly.
progress things.
Because
like that cop that was like, what's this guy doing here? Like when he was Batman,
Wayne.
He was like, oh my
Mr.
god,
Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
So like the parallels in this was basically him trying to figure out who he is. Like the past 2 years, he's been a nocturnal animal submerged in pain. He doesn't care that he doesn't care about death. He doesn't care about anything. Like that's just what he is. He's vengeance. He's gonna become Batman. He's gonna become Bruce Wayne.
I'm glad you mentioned the last 2 years part because that made me think about how HBO Max could capitalize on the fact that we don't know what he's been doing before that.
Right.
So they can make
like a
a
prequel
TV
show?
show out
They
of
could
that.
do a TV show like an HBO Max or like something like that. Where
Like
I
showing,
think I
like,
saw
him-
something, but
Like
you
him
you
never
think it
going
would
to,
be
like-
with Pattinson.
Like, let's say it's not Pattinson, it's just a younger actor who looks a little bit like a younger Pattinson.
that's where they screw up every time.
I don't know about that.
Then,
I don't know about that.
then it's not worth it.
When I
It'll-
say a little bit younger, I mean like 20s.
But it's
not
not-
a little kid.
No,
like
but
in
if it's
Gotham.
not
No, but
Pattinson,
who
then
the
they can't
hell
do it.
would it be?
because Pattinson will be too busy doing other stuff,
Then I
so
don't
they
think
But
can't
then,
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
they'll ruin it.
Because I'm curious to see what his
Reeves won't
training
do it.
was before this.
Yeah, but Reeves won't do that. I think Reeves did this movie so thought out and meticulous. So, and think about this. There's no, like, everyone that's saying, okay, there's going to be a trilogy. Okay, whatever. When the release night came out and Pattinson went to one of the LA releases to watch it,
Didn't he say they wanna do
He
a
was
trilogy?
literally saying,
Yeah.
please blow this up on social media, please, so we can, because we want to do a sequel.
Well, it's doing well.
I think
Yeah.
the sequel has already been because like Pattinson said something about Court of Owls and like the people who were in the movie they're like don't say it. So
Yeah,
I think
Paul
the
Dano
second
was
one
like-
is
Well, Paul
already.
Dano's the one that said Court of Owls, not. But then in a different interview, yeah, it's all just twisted. but
I
don't.
think I have seen one where Pattinson said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like with stuff like this, they can't be like, there's gonna be a trilogy because if the first movie flops, there's no money. So
Right.
like, I think
Yeah.
that there's like he left it open ended enough to where there could be a future.
Well, I think I saw that it made like 120 million in its opening week.
Yeah,
or
dude.
something, like weekend.
I thought it was billion.
Even no,
120,
no,
that'd be
no,
insane.
No.
I remember you sent it like yesterday. I
No,
think.
dude, No Way Home
That'd
is the
be
only
crazy.
like No Way Home is the only movie
That's hit
and
the
and
billions.
Endgame that made $1 billion in the
In
first
2
weekend.
days, this
Yeah.
movie's made 2.3
Yeah.
trillion dollars.
128 million. Yeah.
20, yeah.
But like, Reeves is doing this smart. So in the ending, like I could have lived with not having spoilers. The Joker
Big
in
spoilers.
in Arkham or anything like that. I could easily been okay with
Yeah.
not seeing him at all. But
Yeah, the
it's
first time
leaving
I
it
saw
open ended.
The first time I saw it, I even said,
Right, and it's leaving it
But-
like possibly open ended. But they were saying that
Yeah.
Reeves was talking about a deleted scene where in the comics Batman goes to Arkham to ask the Joker to like some questions because he might know something
Well,
that Batman doesn't know.
I'm just really interested to see what he looks like because you know how he looked odd.
Yeah,
They
he
said
was-
something about him having a
It's a
condition
condition.
that makes his face like permanently smile.
So
Okay, 'cause
it's just the
did-
shape of.
Did you play? Did either of you play the Arkham video games?
I played like one or two
I
of
did.
them.
Yeah,
Okay, well, spoilers for that. Who cares? They're old.
they're old. Yeah.
I think it's the first one, maybe.
When the
where
Joker dies?
Like, injects it. Okay, yeah. So he injects himself with that serum that makes him like a gigantic super soldier troll thing, like Bane serum.
I don't remember that one. I thought you were
He
talking
has,
about the one where
he
he
has,
dies at
bones
the
breaking
end.
through his skin
I don't
and
remember
stuff
that.
Like that.
Ugh.
Okay, I think it's the first Arkham game, Asylum, and his face while he's in that form is like weird like that, and that's what he looked like in this movie to me.
But there, with what Reeves was saying, it's and you can kind of see it when we watch it the second time. You can see his teeth. You
Yeah.
can see his teeth like in the shadow.
Right.
So like that could be a scenario where it's just that condition, which I like. Joaquin Phoenix's version where it's where he can't stop laughing, like where it's an uncontrollable like tick.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like it. Now I honestly I would rather not have the Joker be placed anywhere in
Me
this
too.
movie at all.
Me too.
But it's smart on Reeves' end where like it's open ended. It's the beginning of Batman's career, or not career. I guess career. I don't know what the word you would say.
The Gotham Project.
The Gotham Project. Yeah, because it's nothing. He's not established or anything yet. He's not even like Batman.
The Gotham Project.
Yeah, and I think where the Riddler was saying like Bruce Wayne, and that's when he started kind of like going like this. He thought that he was gonna like the Batman was no more because his identity would get revealed. You know what I mean? So I think that it could help if he starts pushing Bruce Wayne as a character. Like, there's no way that if he becomes Bruce Wayne and he's like the playboy and he's being like very flamboyant, it would be easy for everyone to be like, there's no way that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of, it's almost like a diversion because like he has power in Bruce Wayne when it comes to like money and power just in general, but then that's another way to kind of separate Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because like in this first movie, there's no Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
Like, you could tell the dude was just hurting a lot.
Yeah.
He was just
he
covered
just
in it.
wanted to be Batman.
Yeah, and he was even saying like vengeance, vengeance, vengeance. Like, that's all he was.
But yeah, all the supporting actors are what really made the movie.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how good Batman is if everyone he's dealing with
Sucks.
isn't selling the role.
Yeah.
It's not
Dude,
gonna work.
Even Falcone. Like, the last time I saw him was in Mr. Deeds, where he's like sneaky, sneaky.
Dude, whenever I first saw that guy,
I don't know what that
I
is.
wasn't. What?
Falcone, the guy.
No, you said Mr. Deeds. I don't.
You never
You've
watched
never
Mr.
seen
Deeds?
Mr. Deeds?
No,
With
The
Adam
Adam
Sandler?
Sandler movie where he inherits money.
I never really cared for Adam Sandler like that.
Okay, so after this we have after this I have to show you that scene with him, because then Falcone is just gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I thought whenever I saw him.
My dad started laughing.
I mean, I
'cause
just
he loves
kept
Mr.
thinking of Transformers guy.
I see
Yeah.
that one never clicked for me because I didn't really watch Transformers. Like, it didn't really click
for
for
you.
me. Like, the first one, yeah, but after once they kept going, it's like Fast and the Furious. I just let go.
Yeah, haven't you watched all the Fast and Furious movies?
No, I haven't watched the latest one,
Okay.
and I think we watched
What is the
8?
latest one?
9.
There's a ninth.
Yeah, the 9. The 9 is where they're in space. And
Dude,
stuff.
those movies
8,
They were-
is where
they were
Paul
in
they
died.
get
space for
released
like
and I don't
30
even
seconds.
notice them.
8 is where Paul was already dead, and then they did the ending cutscene with.
Pretty
Vin
sure that
Diesel.
was 7.
I don't
Was it
know.
7?
Almost positive that was
Holy
7.
crap!
I checked out
See,
on
like,
those.
Yeah,
it
yeah. I
just-
guess 8. They were going after Vin Diesel.
that's right.
Yeah.
These movies are
Bad.
yeah. So now, yeah, you get it. No go. Anyway, what were we saying? I completely got right, but like where?
I was
I
talking about
lost
the
myself.
supporting roles. Like,
Yes.
dude, the
Supporting
scene where
roles.
it's introducing Catwoman, how she repels into that loft or whatever it is, and then as she's breaking into the safe, you see the shot behind
With her ears.
her head where you see the ears on her mask, I
See,
guess.
I like
Really cool shot.
I liked her official entrance, like where it showed her boots, which was a clue for Batman later on.
Oh,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And then she walked in and like the whole scenario where they just kind of stared at each other, and Penguin, like, it was that awkward tension where he's like, "Don't worry, he won't bite."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all the acting just felt real.
Yeah.
Wait, the reason why he knew to follow her is because he saw how she reacted to seeing that picture of her friend.
Yeah, like you could tell that there was that tension.
Yeah.
Like in Batman, dude, there's no reaction, but he knows.
Yeah.
Like he has that stuff documented into his head,
Mm-hmm.
which that's why Pattinson really sold it for me. Like, he didn't even have to say a word. He let his eyes do the talking.
Yep.
Which, brilliant.
Yeah. He was just quietly like absorbing
Brilliant.
the details.
Exactly.
Aren't they doing like a Catwoman show spinoff from this?
Dude, I really hope
Okay,
not.
so I've heard a lot of things.
I know
when
they're
it
doing a
comes-
Penguin one for sure.
See, but
Why?
no.
Why?
So I take that with a grain of salt. I don't think that's because Penguin. Obviously, at the end of that, there's going to be something, but they won't do a TV show after one movie. I
Dude,
feel like
you
they'd
can't-
have to
you can't
kind of build
have
that
a
up first.
Penguin TV show.
No, it's just about from what I read, it was just going to be about him rising to the top from this, or him
No one would do that.
working his
care.
way
Yeah.
to this.
I
care.
feel like all that is just like, now that the movie came out, everyone's speculating, saying
Dude,
this, and that.
He's a
nothing is said.
He's a Batman villain. I'm like, no one's like, can't wait for the new Penguin movie.
Well, and the thing is, with this movie, we literally thought that this movie was going to flop. Like, there was a scenario where it was like, they're never going to finish. There's reshoots.
Yeah.
Pattinson's Batman. Like, there was a lot of doubt, and there was no hype for it really for me until I saw like one of their final trailers a couple weeks before the movie actually released. Then I was like, okay, I think Matt Reeves is coming out with a Batman.
Yeah.
So like, whatever is, I think that they're going to keep it very, hush hush, and nothing's going to happen for 3 years.
If they do a whole bunch of
4 years.
spin-off shows,
I don't see,
They'll
and that's the
ruin
thing.
it.
But nothing is established in that world yet. I feel like if they even thought of network television or like streaming services, they'd have to have that world like a little more concrete, where they're like,
I don't think they would necessarily have to.
especially
I mean,
the
like,
Penguin. Like, we barely saw the Penguin.
I didn't
there was no
care for a
background for him.
Peacemaker TV show, and like nobody cared for that, and they still did it after one movie.
I feel like could be kind of different though. Isn't that the DCEU? Like, isn't that considered in that universe?
I guess you could say
And
that.
like Reeves is like a third party, like
They can technically do whatever they want, but I'm telling you,
But it'd be a
Penguin
horrible
spinoff
idea.
show will be bad.
Now, what I think they're going to do is at the end of the movie, Batman literally, or they were saying that there's literally going to be a rise for power, trying to grab.
Yeah.
Penguin's going to grab, like Penguin's going to be the mob boss for the next couple movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're not going to do anything TV show wise with him. Like I feel like that would just dilute
I would
his
be
character.
disappointed if any character gets a spinoff.
No
show.
TV shows. Like give me cinema. Like and then establish it.
I can promise you there will be at least one show.
But in
that,
the
that you can already
Whichever
you already
one
know
they
that's
want to
gonna
fail,
happen.
go for
But
it.
let me ask you this: like in the Reeves universe, like a TV show spin-off from the Batman. Like that's what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. I hope not.
Me too.
I think they would really
I
screw
just
it
know there will be one for sure.
I feel like it will dilute the entire vision of Reeves.
I was about to say, and you think it's
It would-
like the
would
difference
water it
between
down.
that was like James Gunn did the Suicide Squad movie and the Peacemaker show.
Right.
Reeves wouldn't be able to do some sort of spin-off show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it would
probably
be
not.
someone that doesn't have his vision for that world.
Which would all of it would be bad.
it would feel
all of it
totally
would be bad.
different.
Like it's not going to be needed, but I know they're going to do one. Like
Well,
that's just
yeah, I
that's just
wouldn't be
how
surprised.
cinema works.
But that's where we can kind of regroup and see like it's not Reeves' vision. Maybe like he would say I want to keep it all cinema, but then WB or whoever wants to be like we need a spin-off.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
WB doesn't
WB
give a
has-
fuck about what people
Has
want.
constantly proved that they don't know how to handle these franchises.
But that's the thing. They like this is we're kind of in the transition point of what are they gonna do? Like
I think this movie was a fluke.
like a fluke or like one of those like things that don't happen ever. Like it just
it lined up perfectly for them. Like they got a director that knows what he's doing.
But that they didn't deserve. Like it just happened to be like exactly whatever. Dude, after they said that they weren't gonna do the Snyder universe and how listen to the people, dude.
Yeah.
Like DC is already kind of. I don't know what to think, but Reeves, I feel like it's going to be kind of like a Nolan situation where like Nolan had say in his trilogy.
Right.
So it's going to, and that had nothing to do with the DCEU. I think they need to keep it just like that. Give Reeves everything he needs. If he needs to do a full-on trilogy.
Well, the Nolan movies were way before the DCEU even existed.
Well, but what I'm saying is like there's that and then there's the DCEU
Yeah.
in live action cinema. So like they have to do just a trilogy that is not in
And-
connection with any of that BS.
I feel like you can't even say DCU EU anymore because people don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No one knows what it is because they
Yeah.
haven't established a thing. The only thing that they do, Aquaman 2, whatever, Black Adam, I don't care. I don't care. The Flashpoint movie, I don't care. Like I just don't care.
Yeah.
The Reeves, the Batman, dude,
That's the only good thing they got right now.
that is the
Agreed.
like that. And you're the biggest critic when it comes to Batman.
That this is the only besides Ben Affleck. This was the only good one. I hated Christian Bale as Batman.
And I've never
really?
and I've never seen.
I mean, they were good. I say this all the time. They were great movies. It was
It
the
didn't
dude
feel
who
like a
wanted to be
Batman.
Batman. It wasn't Batman. He just wanted to be a Batman.
See, at least this one was grounded, but they
made
hammered
it-
it. They hammered
yeah.
it home that Bruce Wayne is in pain. Like all he feels is pain, and all he wants is vengeance. That's what Batman was at first.
Yeah.
It's just revenge. And so, like, if those were the guns that the Waynes were killed by, you know what I mean? That could fit even further into his
Yeah, dude,
Batman.
he didn't
See,
even
they-
have batarangs or anything.
didn't say
They
anything.
never confirmed that. They never said anything about that in the movie. So I'm wondering
Yeah, they
how
never
that
said
person
that in
came
the
up with that just from a picture.
I bet they looked at it and they're like, he's a tinkerer, so that kind of looks like a handle of a gun. And I would have been like, yeah.
But still,
That
it's
would've been
the fact that like that wasn't anywhere in the movie, and they still got that right. Assuming we got it right.
I mean, I would.
You know what I mean?
I'm just believing it because it's awesome, and they
Yeah.
didn't
Like-
say it would or wouldn't be, so we could just say it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's just so.
But that's the difference. Well, but then again, it's tough because if we're talking about Nolan and then Reeves, like Nolan, how he did his trilogy is like the old school way of doing trilogies, where like you told a 10-year story in 3 movies versus like
That's supposed to be 10 years.
well, like let me get to my point.
I want to say you're pretty close. I think it's like 8 to 10.
Because remember, he started with the League of Shadows and climbed out of the hole, and then like a bunch of stuff happened
Oh,
in
man.
Batman's
Look,
life.
Remember in
what
the
just happened?
Wallpaper.
Okay.
so remember in the third movie where Alfred was like, "Don't you think it's time to make an appearance? You've been cooped up in here for what do you say, like 8 years?" After the second
yeah.
movie.
Oh my God.
And then he was
Because-
like, "Do we have any cars?"
Been in here for
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to leave the house because they believe Batman is a bad guy now because he killed Harvey Dent.
Yeah. So that's where it's tough because like in the new age of telling stories, I feel like you need multiple movies.
Mm-hmm.
So like Spider-Man, for example, that third movie was like what we know of Spider-Man. Like it took years of people being like, it was an okay movie. That was an okay movie. Yeah. And then when everything ended and you put it into a package, holy crap.
Yeah.
So like if they do it this way, perfect. Mm-hmm. Where like the second one, we start seeing Pattinson like try to become Bruce Wayne, and maybe he's like Bruce Wayne, and maybe he's in his journal and he's like,
I'm gonna try to become Bruce Wayne.
He doesn't need a journal anymore because he doesn't need to keep reminding himself. Because now that he is becoming Bruce Wayne as a character,
was he journaling?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's how he started.
He closed it. He closed the
Dude,
notebook.
the whole movie was technically
like narrated from his journal.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's why. Remember, that's why I was saying that somebody said if you liked Rorschach in Watchmen, you'll love this movie.
Okay.
Same vibe. He was reading from a journal.
Yeah. So that's why when the stuff that he said in the beginning, like nocturnal animal and this and that, when it showed the journal, you saw word for word exactly what he said.
For some reason, a shot of a journal isn't coming back to me.
And he just kept saying how like since he only stays up at night and stuff, he has to journal so he can figure out what days are what.
Fair enough.
Because he everything is blending in together.
So he can remember everything.
Exactly. So like it'd be cool. Like
it'd be so weird to be like, is this Batman's?
Yeah. That'd be dude. Like in like
the Bat Journal,
like the Gotham Project and everything. Like everything felt grounded and like legit, dude. And in the second one, if he's actually starting to become Bruce Wayne, that means that he has to be functioning in the public during the day. So he doesn't need a journal or anything. He's starting to figure out his routines between like staying up during the day and then becoming Batman at night, and like trying to maybe
that would be really tough,
or maybe fix Batman issues by being Bruce Wayne, which he could because he has the money. You know what I mean? If like Falcone's about to buy this and he knows something's gonna happen, he could Bruce Wayne it. Where like he didn't think that would be a valid thing because he didn't care before because all he has is the death of his family. Man, I've never spoken about Batman ever. I was not really a Batman fan, but Reeves really hammered it home on.
Somebody was saying that it was in one of those breakdowns or whatever that they think they could possibly go the route of like by the end of the third movie, if there is a trilogy, that his journals are going to be released because he like died or something, or somebody found out his identity or whatever, and they're going to like publish the journals to the public.
That could be interesting.
Because I could see them doing that if they go the route of him dying in the third movie.
And then, man, I don't know.
Like, I mean, because hey, if you do that, then
there's no way to know.
I don't see how you could keep being Batman if you're. Here's my secrets. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you have to be dead at that point.
Yeah. Well, but that's where I think that being Bruce Wayne as a character could be like the biggest deterrent. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, because he's been a recluse. No one sees Bruce Wayne. It could be easy to be like, dude, I never see that guy. Who's Batman? You know what I mean? Like, there could be scenarios where it's like, this guy is super filthy rich. He doesn't come out during the day. It's something sneaky here. But
I never see that guy.
Yeah, but
who's Batman?
But dude, if you're watching Conor McGregor in the UFC and like fighting and stuff, you would never be like, he's a vigilante at night. You know what I mean? So like Bruce Wayne could be, a big player.
I mean,
in the city.
dude, if we had someone dressing around like a bat and fighting crime, I'd dedicate some time to trying to figure out who the hell that was.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Hold on.
But then again, in Gotham's world, like,
okay, he's a white guy. Got it.
We know that much.
Keep my own journal. Who's the Batman Bat Journal?
the Batman Project.
Who's Vengeance Project?
I think I'm becoming the Riddler.
Dude, that kid was in some, not that kid, but that guy played in some movie when he was a little kid, right?
Who?
The Paul.
Dano?
Yeah,
no.
Because
he was in.
When I saw his face, I was like, I know him from somewhere else. I just can't think of what it is.
He was in a movie with Hugh Jackman that was incredible. He played like Prisoners
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that was an insane movie.
Don't think I've seen that.
And he kind of acted similar to the Riddler, kind of like how he kind of was just like the awkward, quiet.
He has issues in that movie.
Right.
Oh, somebody said that. Did you guys get the vibe that the journalist he was talking about was his dad? I would have never guessed that, but people have been saying that.
No, they're saying that the journalist was could be Hush in the future. They even gave the name.
It was something Elliot.
Elliot, yeah, something Elliot. And that, I guess in the comics, he becomes Hush.
Well, in the comics, Thomas Elliot becomes Hush, but his name wasn't Thomas, though.
The kid or the
dad. His name wasn't. He just had the last name of Elliot, which is why they're connecting him with Hush.
right? So I could see that. I mean, I
But-
could see that in the future.
I could see it being his dad too, though, just for the simple fact of like, how did he know so much about this journalist that got killed for these specific reasons? Like, how would he know about the reasons if he wasn't related to him in some
Well, but
way?
remember what the other police officer was saying when Catwoman was about to like kick him off. He was saying how like there's like a bigger picture. Like he kind of implied that there's a world that is like running Gotham. You know what I mean? Like
Well, he
you guys
said it was
don't know.
Falcone.
Yeah, he said it was Falcone,
Right, but I feel like there's a world that Batman hasn't
referring to the Court of Owls. I'm assuming.
or anything in general. You know what I mean? Like there's something
I
that's
mean, if that's where they're going, it better be Court of Owls because, I mean, it fits perfectly for this story.
and it would kind of make sense with like lies and deception
Right.
and what's really running Gotham and how Falcone was like you got the Prince of Gotham in your hands.
Which
you know what I
they
mean? Like,
could
Yeah.
they
he's
could
not
easily
actually.
do Court of Owls with this because of how he was saying his parents were dirty or whatever.
Right.
Well, I mean, but
Well,
they
that's what I'm saying,
they,
like,
they
deception
weren't
and-
dirty, but
They did dirty stuff technically.
it was because like they didn't know the renewal was going to be used for that purpose. The renewal got taken after they died and used for that purpose.
Right.
So it is their fault that it's happening, but that was never their intention for the renewal.
Right.
Which is why it's like he said they're covered, but they're really not. So it's like that could easily paint in the Court of Owls if they were court for an actual different reason, because in the comics they were actually part of the Court of Owls for a little bit.
Well, now that Falcone's dead, could that be a scenario where, like, kind of like what you were saying, with the Court of Owls and stuff, and like the grab of power and everything? Like Falcone got
I feel like that
murdered.
was hinting at
That was something at Penguin.
just Penguin
because it was
Yeah, 'cause
showing him as
at
it
the
was
end,
saying
right?
all that.
Right.
Because Court of Owls, they're way above that.
Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is
that's
like,
why-
don't
they
that's
stay
why that
secret.
Kirby cop did not know anything about the Court
no,
of
but
Owls.
don't the Court of Owls like not oversee, but they kind of know exactly what's going on with whoever is in power in Gotham. And
Right,
stuff.
like, they control everything, but nobody knows they control
Well,
everything.
that's kind
Or
of what I'm
who
saying
they
with
are, yeah.
going forward with the Batman movies. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we're seeing the layer, but at the end it could be the underlayer that's
can you
controlling
imagine
everything.
having Batman fight against the Talon in a live action
I
movie, that
hope
would be
they
incredible.
do that. I really hope they do that. They need to do that. Talon is like he's probably like one of my favorite Batman villains.
Yeah, I have a Court of Owls comic book, and the Talon is terrifying. The way he like stalks him through those halls in the maze.
Have you watched Batman versus Robin, the animated movie? It's about the Court of Owls.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tight. I've showed it to you before. I'm pretty sure.
At the moment, Matt Reeves Batman's
The
all I
Talon
think
is
about
like
with Batman now.
an assassin that the Court of Owls send to like help control power.
See, like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could easily play out to where Falcone got murdered. Penguin's going to try to take power. The Gotham City is in martial law. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
the Court of Owls could obviously like.
Oh, but it sounds like you're saying that the Court of Owls will take power when they already
No.
have the power.
No, they oversee it. Kind of like Galactus watching all the BS that was happening
They're just gonna
here.
like
Like Thanos.
You mean the Watcher?
Well, just anybody. Anybody that's stronger than Thanos could see
Galactus
Thanos.
eats planets. He doesn't watch them.
Do you get what I'm saying, though?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's
I'm
just a
making sure
scenario
that people
where
don't get wrong
They don't
information.
have to interject with anything, but they obviously see exactly what's going on, and eventually they're gonna have to interject with something.
yeah, they'll orchestrate who takes power.
Right. Like there's gonna be something. I don't know for sure, but I could see where like we're seeing the upper level, but then the whole movie in a trilogy could be like the bigger power. Kinda
Right.
like all the movies, and then we didn't see Thanos until the last few years of Marvel movies. You know what I mean? That would be cool if they did something like that. To where the third Batman movie, he's Bruce Wayne.
I mean, they were
He's
kind of showing
Batman.
Thanos like sporadically,
Yeah, like sprinkle
but
in.
like he looked different every time.
We can even say that like the first card there was an owl on there. You know what I mean? That could be like a little Easter egg for what could be
was-
going in the future.
I mean,
I
yeah,
remember 'cause
people-
that was like one of the first trailers.
Yeah,
we
people
saw.
were saying Court of Owls since
People
the
thought it was
trailer
gonna be Court
dropped.
of Owls,
yeah.
So
Which-
that's
and-
something they need to do.
And there's no reason for one of them to even mention that in any interview that they were doing. Maybe, check this out. Hear me out. Maybe there wasn't necessarily plans of a trilogy, but since this movie's murdering, that's why they were mentioning, like, if we did a prequel, it'd be cool to do the Court of Owls. You know, like stuff like that. Like, it's not planned, but it's going to happen.
Not a prequel.
Or not a prequel, sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be a scenario like that.
See, words are important.
Huh?
I said, see, words are important.
Yeah.
Because you called the
Like-
Watcher Galactus. It's
And,
completely different. See, words are important.
but you got what I was saying.
And now I do. Yeah, I didn't then.
Well, hold on. I guess give it a
That's when I was confused.
Yeah, we
Because that's when I thought you were saying the Court of Owls will take power when they already have the power. That's why at that point I didn't get what you're saying. But now I get what you're saying.
we've gone off topic.
Yeah. Rating.
What?
What's the rating?
Oh, okay. What's your rating?
8.
9.5. No, 9.7 out of 10. Just because like I can't give it a 10 just because like there might have been like a few little like dialogue options that I would have stayed away from to just better suit my taste.
I'm gonna give it a solid 9.
I
What'd
thought
you give
it
it?
was gonna be
8.
perfect.
Okay, Nate.
An 8.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Have you done anything higher?
probably not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
What did you not like about it?
I love the detective side of it. I just wish there was more him fighting in it as well. Like the fight scenes we got were awesome.
Could that
but
be-
I would have loved to see more.
Could that be just because like his tactics are wrong? Like if he's trying to just do fear, maybe in the future it could be a scenario where
Well, I think it's more so just like a I wish they could have showed it more of him just like actually like doing what he did in the beginning of the movie. You know what I mean? Like as he's detecting his detective
there's
stuff.
stuff that he has to.
He's still encountering gangs throughout the movie.
Well, I guess it. Yeah.
I mean, not
I would,
repeatedly, but just like maybe like 2 more times.
I
You know
would
what
like
mean?
to see it, but then again, like it took a week. Like the movie was in a week setting.
Like you think he only beat up one street gang in a week? Come on, he
Well, that
probably
was
beats up,
before
like
the
2
murders,
gangs a
though.
day.
But that was before the murders. Right when the Riddler started realizing that the Batman, like he's getting targeted now. That was the first time I'm sure that he's like murders or there's murders in the city, but they're all targeting Batman.
Right.
So like that took its time, I'm sure. Like that was.
I mean, like I know.
and he even said I can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
Right, but
So
just like saying like let's say like there's a scene of him like driving back to
2
the
minutes.
Batcave, and then he's like muggers, and then
That would have. I feel like that would have killed the flow of the movie.
I'm not saying that exactly. I'm just saying more
Muggers.
fighting.
Right.
More
No,
fighting.
I mean, we said like I would have liked to see more of Batman fighting, but the fights that they gave us
They were awesome.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
So I feel like
They were awesome.
in a balance of a movie, no more, no less. It was perfect. I feel like it was perfect. And maybe later on in the future there could be more. But this was a detective story. Like we've never seen Batman as a true detective,
Right.
and that they totally gave
Which
us.
is another reason why I hated Nolan, because he went to Lucius Fox for everything. Everything. Lucius, I need a car. I need to fly. I need something that will protect dogs.
But could that be a
bro,
scenario?
Make it yourself. That's what Batman does.
But could that be a scenario where he's just been doing it for so long that he just hired someone smarter than him? Now that
Nah,
I
bro.
think about
Like
it?
he went to Lucius from day one in Batman Begins. He went to
That's
Lucius
true. That's
from
true. That's
day
true. That's
one.
true. That's true. If we're, you're right. You're right.
Like that's why I just like this dude ain't Batman. He just wants to be Batman.
Yeah. Well, we've concluded that this is much better than the Christian Bale
Any
ones.
Batman,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
any
way better.
any
Yeah.
Batman movie ever made. This is the one to go see.
Go see it.